People in Guernsey will likely be paying more to fill up their cars following plans to increase the tax on fuel. As part of the budget for next year, the Policy and Resources Committee wants to put it up by 4.3%. But some deputies want to cap the rise at less than 2.5%. Gemma Daubney reports.
As a breakdown recovery driver, Ozzy's often at the petrol station. While fuel duty in Guernsey's been higher than Jersey since it was bumped up to replace motor tax nearly 20 years ago, Ozzy's noticed his recent trips to the pump are getting even pricier.
It is quite expensive, the fuel. I mean, I know we pay a lot on tax on the fuel, probably here more than most places in the world. And a year or so ago, I did have to put my prices up to compensate for the fuel charge.
And Ozzy's not alone. One Guernsey charity's lost several volunteers because it can't afford to cover their petrol costs.
More and more people are finding it difficult to, sort of make ends meet, and so therefore, they have to do what little they can to help themselves as well. So we appreciate that. The charges that we do make do not cover anywhere near the costs of running our social clubs and our Meals on Wheels service. And so, yes, even a small increase hits the pennies.
Deputy Jane Ozan hopes limiting the increase can help.
We've seen fuel duty rise from 70p to 90p a litre in just 4 years. And I feel that hits the poorest hardest. Basically, they're the ones who are least likely to be able to buy electric cars or have fuel-efficient cars. So I want to do something that will target them, I think, more than any other group.
But will it make a difference?
Every little bit helps us as a charity. We have to find funding to support the people that we support, and therefore, as I said, every little bit counts.
I pay a lot of tax already, and all that. So to put more money on again and again and again, it's hitting myself.
I don't know. The sort of cost of living at the moment is a bit of a struggle for everyone. So as long as people are getting paid a little bit more, it all evens out at the end of the day. So I don't think it should be too much of a struggle.
The Policy and Resources Committee says Deputy Ozan's plans are understandable, but it's warned without an increase in fuel duty, it will have to top up tax in other areas to balance the budget. Gemma Daubney, BBC Channel Islands News, Guernsey.
The doctor at the centre of a row involving one of Guernsey's most senior politicians says she supports a suspension but doesn't believe deputies will agree to punish him. Regulators found Deputy Gavin St Pierre breached state's rules while speaking to a journalist after complaint from Dr Sandy Bowen. Jersey Social Security ministers ruled out changing the benefit system for people caring for relatives. Currently, people of working age can claim carers allowance, which stops when they qualify for their pension. A scrutiny panel asked Deputy Lindsay Feltham if she'd follow Guernsey's example and change that. But the minister says most people would actually be worse off under that system. New sports facilities at Oakfield in Jersey have officially opened today. £8 million has been spent extending and revamping the previous sports hall, which will be used by several clubs and nearby schools. Our communities reporter Chris Craddock was at the opening.
Politicians were almost jumping for joy at the opening of this new centre. But it was students making the most of the new facilities, with some saying it could help more islanders get more active.
I think if we had more places like this, cheaper prices as well, loads of women would want to do a bit more, and more classes that women would enjoy as well. I think it would really bring in younger teenage girls and even older women as well.
I find it so lovely. It's nice to get new equipment, new space, opens up more opportunities to play different sports.
£8 million was spent on the new centre, but sports bosses say it's worth the price tag.
So a lot of people will undoubtedly talk about the cost of the facility, but we now have the research that shows that for every £1 invested into the sports economy, that actually the taxpayer will benefit to over £4, and that's every year. So if we look at the cost of the facility against the return on investment, this already pays for itself in a couple of years.
But not everyone's happy about it. Several sports were reluctant to move out of Fort Regent, which they felt better suited their needs.
Well, we're trying to be constructive, and netball is an example. They're thrilled with this facility. They want more court time, and we're still working with them to try and find a final solution for them to get that additional court time. It's a fantastic facility. You can see that it's state of the art, and whether you're playing netball, cricket, basketball, badminton, a whole range of sports can be played in that sports hall.
And youngsters are keen to push themselves in sport at Oakfield.
Definitely promotes a lot of fitness, keeping people healthy, better lifestyles, that type of thing.
Well, it's very ideal as it's right next to Holier and Highlands, as you can go in the morning, as it's also part of Active. So if you have a membership for Active, you can come here in the morning or after. Yeah, it's very ideal, and it's very good to get into it at a young age.
Following this workout this afternoon, politicians now hope these revamped facilities will knock the socks off everyone using this news centre. Chris Craddock, BBC Channel Islands News, Jersey.
Yeah. Right, that is it from me and the team for the time being. I'll be back on your screens tomorrow night at 6:30. From myself reading and Claudia has been pressing the buttons. Good night.